What's good, little dumpsters? Welcome back to the Dropping Knowledge Podcast. I'm your host, Talon Sai. Today I'm joined with Rhodes and JF like always. What's Gucci, family?
Master Dump in the house. Yo, go to my Instagram.
Master Dump.
Rhodes killing the game.
Damn,
Keep Rhodes
dog.
killing the game.
Shocking the world.
But you're the double
No doubt. Oh,
All right.
man.
podcast started now, so we gotta be serious, all right?
Damn,
We
dog.
gotta be serious. This is gonna be a serious episode, kind of, sort of, until we start talking about the normal shit. But what are we talking about today?
Yo, we talking about outer space, bro. I've been waiting for you guys to finally be on board for this one.
Dude,
I'm
I've
about
been
to
on board.
Wake some people up.
I think back at like the 10K party or the 50K party, I forget when we brought it up, but we brought up something about space. It was like favorite movies, and I said Interstellar. And then we're both
Great
like,
movie.
yo, we could talk about that forever. And I'm pretty sure we said, yeah, just wait till we start a podcast and we can talk about it.
Yup. Guess
So-
what? We're about to talk about it. I can't wait.
So
We about
what's
to
the
talk
baseline
about it.
to this conversation? Where do you start?
Where do we start? I don't know. Well, let's since me and you seem to be the more woke on this one, Talon. Let's ask JF. Let's get his opinion on some things, and then we can just elaborate why he's an idiot.
Well, that's
Okay.
whatever.
Okay, what's up? Jeff, what's your favorite like space movie of all time? There's a lot, obviously.
I don't really if you said to me like, here's 10 movies that all have to do with space and intergalactic beings, I would say I'm not interested in watching them. However, I watched Interstellar, so that's really the only baseline I have to it.
All right, well, that's like the super in-depth, deep baseline, so that's still a good one.
And I like that
guess.
movie a lot, by the way.
Yeah, it's a good fucking movie. One of my favorite movies, actually. What questions do you have, Rhodes?
For what? To ask him?
Yeah.
Do you believe in aliens?
I believe in something out there, I think.
If you think aliens exist, do you think they ever came here?
Maybe. I don't know. What?
Maybe. I don't know. Give me an answer.
I-
I don't know either, but what do you think?
If they're out there, I'm sure they were here at one point
All right.
doing something. Disguised as somebody. Have you ever seen Men in Black, mother? That's my favorite movie, bitch.
It's like that might be a documentary.
Yeah, that counts as a movie.
What else about space? Oh, is the sun hot?
Oh, here we go. We're not getting into that yet.
All right, keep going.
So, Jeff, you
More
believe that there is something out there, and you believe that whatever it is has been to Earth.
I guess.
Okay.
I find it hard to believe that if the universe is actually as big as we're taught it is, that they're like, how are we the only being in the world
JF just said something very woke right there.
isolated on one single planet when there's, so many planets? How are we the only ones?
If the universe is as big as we're taught it is, I like this guy. He's already thinking. Just a disclaimer, too, before we get too deep. None of us are stoned on acid. Well,
Not
Tal might
even
be a little
drunk.
drunk.
I'm not even drunk. I drank half a
We have
drink.
not made drinks
We're
tonight,
drinking
so
some
just
hard Deer
listen.
Parks right now.
Yeah. Some straight
My
from
favorite
the spring
water.
waters. Me too. This is the
17
goat
fluid ounce
of
Deer
all
Parks.
local waters, because this is technically a local water. But anyway,
So drop some knowledge, Rhodes. What do you think
Do you
about
think there's
that?
water on Mars, Rose?
what? Do I think there's water on Mars? Absolutely not.
Okay.
Our
drop some
atmosphere can't hold it. Where are we going to start? I could go all over the place with this.
knowledge. We need a starting point. Like we need to
You believe in aliens, another living being?
It's a mathematical certainty that
Yeah.
there's something else out there. It's just the sheer percentages of it. It's whether or not they have ever come here. That's something else debatable. Although this show, and now you guys are going to laugh. That show, Ancient Aliens, right?
over.
Oh
now.
my
Ooh,
god.
hold on. 99% of that stuff is just fucking whack
Fucking
job.
bullshit.
Crazy. They do with the
Yeah.
weird hair. But there are a few things on there, especially from the early ones, where they talk about like the pyramids and all the like weird buildings down in like South America and stuff. How like It's built out of rocks that take a diamond edge saw to cut in modern world, and they cut them and place them so tightly together with no mortar that you can't even fit a piece of paper between them. Something's up there. Something's up. I don't know if it's aliens. I don't know if it's that we don't know enough about our own history on our own planet.
Or they just didn't have Instagram and Facebook, and they didn't spend their days with their faces in their phones, and they actually like got innovative.
And did what? Rub the diamond on a giant, and then
They had all the time in the world.
10,000
They
of
had
them
all
to
the time in
carry
the
it.
world.
That's kind of where, like, I don't know, my opinion differs after that point. So I agree. Like, if you don't believe, or if you don't think that there is something else living outside of our planet, I think you're fucking stupid. I'm sorry, but like you said, mathematically, for you to believe in the statistics that there is not something is just absurd. Like, there absolutely has to be something else.
Look, you ever see those pictures that are all just little dots? And like every one of those dots isn't a planet; it's a star.
Yeah, you know how many solar systems are in our galaxy alone?
No, it's
Fucking a lot. And then there's multiple billions of galaxies. It's like, if you look at the big picture, it's like almost impossible to deny.
How far are we in to this already? How many minutes?
Just 6 minutes.
I already have anxiety.
Because you know that we're so fucking pointless and our lives mean nothing.
And I don't think any people like really like evaluate life that way or think about it that way, but I do.
Oh, I do. When I get really stressed, like at work, I'm like, you know what? We're floating. Like, wait, what's your line?
we're living on a dying rock covered in trash, floating through outer space.
So nothing matters. I literally think about that at work, and I'm like, you know what? I'm really stressed about this, but fuck it. Nothing I'm doing right now even matters. So
we're on a dying rock covered in trash, and nothing we do matters. That's your Monday motivation every morning. That's what's going to get you through the week. You all stressed out when the week starts. Guess what?
I'm floating on
none of this shit matters.
On a rock full of trash.
We are, dude. Everything around us is trash. House trash. TV trash. It's all garbage. It's all fucking trash.
It really is.
In one point of the existence of anything ever that's existed, that's a good, that's something you could have in your house or is your house or is a car, it's gonna be trash at some point in its life cycle. So it's all trash. Everything's trash. No matter how nice, you might have some really nice, really fucking expensive trash, but it will be trash.
So, I agree with that.
I agree with that.
The part where I like start to fade off is that when people like the ancient aliens, I can't even like get through enough of the episode to like get to parts.
Me neither.
But when people say like, oh, there's no way anyone could have built the pyramids, it had to be aliens, like fuck. And then those are the people who think are like, oh, a fucking flying saucer came down and picked up all these rocks and put them in place. It's like, yeah, that's a little far-fetched.
I'm not saying that.
I know.
I also think it's far-fetched that people did something as perfect as that as well with the technology they had.
I agree. I think it is really crazy that something like that was done by humans, especially so long ago. But I don't doubt it. I think that there are definitely ways that it could have happened. I don't think it's fucking aliens.
The pyramids in Egypt are lined up perfectly with Orion's belt. Perfectly. The faces of each side of them are perfect north, south, east, west. You're telling me people in 4000 BC did that just by just dragging them on top of like wooden logs to roll them up the hill and place them perfect, inch perfect.
I don't know, maybe.
Like Stonehenge, you know how far away those rocks came from and how much they weigh?
Yeah.
Like forever away. Like how'd they get them there? Dude,
I know how they stood them up.
Just really pulled on them real hard.
Well, I sort of. I watch a bunch of videos on how that happened. I don't even know what that even represents, really.
That's the calendar. It's an old calendar, and the way the sun comes through certain ones at certain times of the year, it measures the solstice. I'm woke to this shit, bro.
You're woke to this shit.
Yeah. But yeah, dude. My worry too when we start talking about this type of stuff, I get all spiritual because, like you guys both know, I'm like not necessarily anti-religion, but I'm
the
not. Dude, I will tell you this. It's weird how many places I go and the food that I order, it comes out to $6.66. Like, it happens a lot. But anyway.
I think you're just surrounded. You're plagued by bad luck.
Yeah.
Like, it just makes me think that, like, just how ignorant and self-absorbed, like, overly religious people are, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
That's just what I think. But that's like the way that's where my brain then takes me once we talk about all this other shit now. And then you still think that there's some fucking guy in the sky that went, oh, on this trash covered rock, on this particular one, this is where all the special people live. Like, no, that's not.
I made a joke about religion in my last video when I was out in Vegas. It was fucking Easter Sunday when we woke up, and I made the comment like, oh yeah, happy Easter. Today's the day where fucking zombie Jesus comes back to life and people hide eggs from a bunny or something like that.
And then give kids candy in a basket.
And
colors.
I got comments that day that were like, oh yeah, the video was great up until your fucking millennial view of Jesus. Unsubscribe. Oh. I'm like, okay, dude, you can go fuck yourself. I can make jokes about
millennial view.
I can make jokes about literally everything else, and then I say zombie Jesus, and you take offense to that. Fuck yourself. Don't care.
Yeah, arrivederci. See you later.
Arrivederci.
See you later. Dude, I don't know all this stuff, and I guess we're gonna get deeper into it. But like, I guess like people that know me through watching videos or know me personally, like. People call me an asshole, which boils down to me is that I'm a realist. Like, I just tell you what's going on, and I don't really I'm kind of honest, like almost to a fault.
Well, you can't tell somebody what's going on with aliens.
No, but what I'm saying is, so then that as my personality interacting with other people is also my personality when it shapes my view on all these crazy existential types of things we think about. What's the most realistic option?
There's something out there.
The boogeyman in the sky saying we're special, or we're just a fucking accident. There's, we're your dad when he was 19 forgetting to pull out. That's what we are. We're the accident.
Whoops.
That's true.
Yeah. Oh shit. I guess I came in her. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this works out okay.
So at least we're all on the same page with that.
Yeah.
Oh, I have something a little bit off topic. I don't want to talk about it a whole lot, but yesterday I was getting dinner and some dude came up to me and was asking me about like my camera, and he's like, I'm from the World Peace Parliament. Have you ever heard of that?
No, sounds made up.
Yeah, and it definitely was. It was made up in like 1958, but he went on this like long rant. This kind of ties into religion and everything, but he's trying to like get representatives from countries all over the world to form a fucking peace parliament that is like defeats Congress and every other type of fucking government around the world. It was the most ridiculous fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. But he like tried to get me to join, basically.
How?
What was the sign-on fee?
No, I don't care. It costs way too much money to join this. What's the 5-point plan? What are the bullet points to get this done?
Oh, dude, he just kept talking. I'm sitting there eating. And he's just like, we're not sitting at the same table. He's sitting at a table across from me, and he's just talking and talking. And I'm just like nodding my head while I'm eating and like looking at my phone, answering emails. He just keeps talking and talking. But anyway.
I think I've gotten to the point whenever like you ever go to like Walmart or the mall or anywhere and there's people like sitting there like hawking something like, hey, let me look. Do you have a minute to hear about this?
Yeah, no,
I
don't.
I've perfected. I think something inside of me has, when I hear, do you have a few minutes for, and my brain hears that, my face turns into this version of it.
You have
that when I look at them, they just know to not even approach me anymore.
You got that RBF anyways.
When I walk by like a table with a folding chair sitting behind it and a little banner on front, and I walk by and I read the banner, and I make eye contact with the person, they know.
Excuse me, sir, would you like to buy Girl Scout cookies?
Although, hey, I did a really good deed one time, though. I just gave them like $10 once. I'm like, I don't even want any cookies. Here's $10. Here you go.
Like, keep your fucking cookies, bitch.
Yeah, that's my good deed for the decade. So I figure I'm good with Jesus on that.
All right.
He saw that.
But yeah, anyway, back to like space and religion. I haven't yet to hear an argument, someone to convince me that like, I mean, you can't. I can't think of anything that would convince me that aliens would not exist. There's no way.
Now, yeah, I agree.
Same thing with religion though. Like I believe in some certain things, but like you're not gonna. I've never seen a solid point to say that the universe was not created by the Big Bang, basically.
Well, dude, we existed side by side with velociraptors and T-Rex. You don't know that?
It's pretty wild.
That's what religious people say. That us and T-Rex are out there running around together.
Running around together.
Yeah, but anyway.
And we just survived somehow.
Like the alien thing again, dude. Like, so am I saying that they also stood there and looked up and looked at the sky and I'm like, well, I'm real important? No, but it might be some other version of a being we can't even process, but they might not ever advance technology like we do. You know what I'm saying? Like they might just be like the equivalent of animals for us. It might just be a planet just full of them. There's nothing like us on it. They're just out there just living, doing their thing. Like,
I was thinking about that.
Do you think since whatever's out there so large, there's a possibility that this current form of Earth right now in our existence, this given time, is replicated elsewhere?
Like a multiverse theory.
Where you on this planet right now is duplicated, except that version of you might be living a different life, but it's still you.
Or I might be sitting in that chair and you might be sitting in this chair.
Yeah.
I think it's a possibility. Absolutely. I think I'm more open-minded to just about anything when it comes to that kind of shit. So
I think that's a possibility of like the multiverse theory, but I think it's not even, it's nowhere close to as likely as just anything else, really.
So one of my old bosses, I'm not going to name any names, believed that is basically a sim character, and there's a higher being playing his character right now.
So like the Matrix, sort of.
Damn. If there is, dude, my guy, you better do those in-game purchases. You better start buying me some shit. You better upgrade some things, you know.
Get me a new Ferrari.
For me real quick. Yeah, dog, if there is.
Give me a smoke show wife.
Yeah, start pumping that cash in the system, dude. I know you're holding out. Dude, if that's the case, bro.
I'm waiting.
Let's go.
Like, I think it's, I mean, actually, I think I tweeted this the other day. I was like, does anyone feel like their life is like the Truman Show? Like, I always feel like I'm being fucking watched.
Yeah.
I feel that I always like reflect back to the Truman Show. Great movie, by the way.
Great movie.
I just like Jim Carrey. But going back to the Truman Show, whenever I am like thinking of something or whatever, and that something ends up happening, that's when I think of that movie instantly. I'm like, holy shit! I feel like I'm just being basically coached through life right now, and they just threw me a bone because I was thinking about it.
When I walk around, I'll look around and just like make eye contact with people on purpose, and then if they like look at me funny, I'm like, they're fucking actors, aren't they? It like makes you think about the show.
Dude, you know what happens to me like kind of often? Still kind of often. It used to happen to me a lot when I was younger. You ever have like a dream, and it was never like the whole dream, but like one specific moment, just like a little 3-second clip of the dream, and then like a day or two later, the exact same thing would happen, and it'd be like someone saying, it'd be like JF just yelling bananas like real loud right now, and I'd have in my head him sitting in this chair with headphones in. The point leading up to it in the dream was probably some crazy weird shit, but those 3 seconds were the exact same as what was in my dream. Like, it's crazy.
It's deja vu.
I guess, but I'm just saying, like, that happens to me like a lot.
That doesn't happen to me a lot, but like I kind of understand how deja vu works, like scientifically. Do you know?
Oh, okay. All right, Bill Nye.
I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying like I don't know. I've researched weird shit like that because I mean that's a common question though. That like it's fucking like in the Matrix. Why is there deja vu? Because there's a fucking glitch in the Matrix. But like, what's the real reason for it? I've never experienced anything like you just said. But like when you have deja vu, a lot of times it's your brain just taking your like memories and processing them differently to like make it seem like whatever you just had happened to you, something that someone said, it like constructs its own story around that. Like, you know,
but like the things happen after I dream them.
Yo, yeah, no, I know what you're saying, but you're still constructing that dream just in your head based off of like, well, I don't know. That's a different type of thing, I guess.
Yeah, that's like 2 levels deeper.
That's like foreshadowing, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. Like it creeps me out sometimes because it's just weird. You know what I mean? It's like the dream can be something totally wild. We could have been fucking. We could have.
But like, how sure are you that it was a dream?
Yeah, maybe it was you thinking. Maybe it was you thinking that you dreamt it after it happens. You're like, oh wait, maybe I dreamed that.
No, it's 1,000,000%. It could be.
But how?
Well, then start writing them
know?
down.
Okay.
Like, how would you know? Like the morning you woke up, like you wouldn't have woken up and said, "Why the fuck does JF yelling banana?" And then 3 days later, like, how would you like?
It's just like 3 days later. It's like
those two dots.
Fuck! Like I saw that. Like. You know what I mean? Like the dream could be we're riding fucking T-Rexes down the road and we ran in here and we put headphones in and we plugged them into a banana and you looked at me and yelled bananas. And I just see you with the headphones in saying this to me. The lead up to it has nothing to do with what reality is, but then you say something in reality and it's like, whoa, like
I know, but I got it. I guess
it's crazy.
It would have to be something significant, though. I think.
No, it's always just insignificant shit.
Yeah, but in your like significant enough in your dream to make you think or remember that days later that same exact thing happens, where you're like, that happened in my dream. You know what I mean?
The thing is, I don't dream every night.
Well, you do. You just don't remember.
They stand out more. Certain ones.
This is sort of like how people can lie to themselves and then they end up being convinced of that thing because a lot of people don't realize that when you remember something like last episode, I think we were talking about middle school. We're not remembering those memories as they happened on that day back in middle school. We're just remembering back to the last time that we thought of it. So each time you think about what happened, exactly. So the last time that you remembered that story that you're telling or that memory that you're thinking about, you're only thinking back to the last time that you thought of it. You're not actually remembering the day. So every time you think about it, it's going to change a little bit, whether you think it does or not.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm. What is the reoccurring dream you guys always have? If you have any.
I don't. I have like things I dream about sometimes recurringly, but I don't really want to talk about it.
Well, you banging the strippers, whatever.
Like personal things.
I got you. I always have this dream. I shouldn't say always, but like my recurring dream that I've had many of times is I'm falling from some high structure. And this is going to sound like I'm suicidal. I don't know what it is I'm falling from.
I would be if I were you.
But I'm just free falling, and then like as I get closer to like I can't see the ground or the end, but as I'm falling, I get to a point where I'm like, holy shit, that's like concrete, and like literally I wake up in my bed and my heart is just like pounding. And I'm like, what the
real for your brain, dog.
But I have that dream like.
You ever have those dreams where like you're falling like that? Because I've had a dream like that once in a while, and you can feel like the wind on your face, like you can feel it.
Oh, well, this takes me to: have you ever lucid dreamed? Do you know what a lucid dream is?
I've tried, but I couldn't do it.
Where you control what's happening in your dream, and it's very.
No.
Oh my god!
I always wake up when I try.
When I am in a lucid dream, I can't make myself do it, but when I realize I'm in one, oh my god, it's so fun. It's like you're tripping on LSD and you're just like manifesting.
How do you know what that's like?
I don't know.
I wish I could do that. I can imagine what kind of things I'd be dreaming about.
It's like manifesting whatever you want. Like you want to fly, Bitch, you got wings. You
I
can
wouldn't
fly.
be doing a whole lot of flying. I can tell you that.
You can look through girls, clothes, whatever you want to do.
Look through girls' clothes. You made me sound like a fucking psycho. No. I'd be judging a booty contest of all the Instagram booty models.
But yeah,
So-
lucid dreams are awesome.
This can go to like another deep path. Like I don't believe in fucking your sign, what is that called? Astrology, like shit like that. But I have looked into like the meaning of dreams, and that shit makes a lot of sense to me because like consciously and subconsciously you're thinking about a lot of shit throughout the day, and then if you so like as an example, whatever your falling dream is, that like it probably signifies a certain feeling that you're having. And like if you just look up like just really random things that happen in your dream that are like super vivid, there's a really good chance that it correlates to shit that has happened or is happening in your life.
I believe that.
Like I don't
Just never really looked into it.
I don't really have like a reoccurring dream, but every once in a while I'll have like sleep paralysis. Have you ever had that? Fucking sucks, by the way.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
never.
Yes. That shit's scary.
Yeah, it happens like if I take a nap like midday, it'll just happen, especially like if I'm on a couch or something. But when that happens, I'll have just sleep paralysis. So like I think I'm awake, but I can't like sit up and I can't move, but in reality I'm really still sleeping. And then I'll also have these like feelings that my teeth are like falling out, and like they're just like fall, like when you lose your teeth as a kid, but like all of them. And then I like looked up what that means, and a lot of times it means that there are things happening in your life that you don't have control over, and it's making you feel uncomfortable because of that. And that's my fucking life as a whole. Like there's so many things that I try to have control over, but I can't, like my job. So like if I have to fucking get up and move to a different city tomorrow, like that's normally when shit like that happens, which is kind of crazy.
So to go back to like astrology, I kind of believe in. No, hold on. Hear me out before you make your fucking air gasps. Okay. I don't believe in horoscopes. Like if I went and
Holy hell! I thought I was at the
like
kick you out.
if I went and looked at what my whatever, I wouldn't believe it. However, like if you like read like the bullet points of what represents a Gemini and how they are personality wise, one of the things on there is Geminis have split personalities, and I can find myself being two different people in certain situations. So that's how like I relate to that. And maybe that's not astrology, but you're still looking at your sign. It's not necessarily a horoscope, so it's still astrology, but I can like relate to that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can relate to a lot of them, but like the daily ones who are like, oh, this thing is happening to you in your life. I'm a Cancer, I could read mine, and then I could read a fucking Pisces or Taurus or whatever the fuck some other ones are. And I'd be like, oh yeah, I can relate that to my life too.
You know what it is to me? Horoscopes are like those people that say they can communicate with like the dead. That they're just fishing, like they just speak in such broad generalities that you could apply just about anything to yourself. Like you ever see those dudes they're like, oh, I'm hearing from a person who begins with a G, and then some person is like, oh, Gary, oh my god,
Oh, I haven't seen
You know what I
Gary
mean?
in years.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like they speak in such, oh, you're dealing with some stress right now. Like who isn't? It'll be better, and it'll be better if you just confront it. Like that applies to 99% of people in the world. Like every horoscope is some variation of that. Like
Yeah.
So I think it's another thing where people like that. And okay, can you have an explanation for this? Because this shit drives me bonkers too. When Mercury is in retrograde, what is
Oh
that?
my
I don't even know what it means.
What does it mean?
And I don't care to
So-
know what it means.
So Mercury in retrograde, think about it like this. You're driving down the highway next to a car, and you're both moving fast, but the car next to you looks like it's moving backwards because you're moving forwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get like that
Yep.
weird kind of illusion effect.
Yeah.
That's what Mercury being in retrograde is. I guess it's as we pass it going around the sun. It happens 2 times a year, I think, or
probably.
I don't know, every like 4 months or some shit like that. So like we're passing Mercury or Mercury's passing us, whatever. And people think it fucking, they're like, don't buy any electronics when Mercury's in retrograde, or don't buy a new car, and don't do this and don't do that. Don't get in a relationship. It's like, dude, that shit's so fucking stupid.
I just don't know what it means. And like girls are Mercury being retrograde. He. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, what it? Whatever.
I'm curious now. I want to Google it and just see like what the first thing that pops up is. Mercury in retrograde. They have a calendar to tell you when the fuck
When's
it's in.
When's it in retrograde next? I'll make sure I don't get in a relationship then.
Oh my god! Yeah, I don't think you have to be worried about that. Let's be honest.
Wow, guys, thanks for the confidence boost.
Your guy that's playing your sim, he wants you to be single forever.
Yeah. What's today? April 11th. Oh shit, dude! Mercury retrograde phase right now. It's
Who's trying to catch?
The retrograde phase has intensified today.
Better believe it. What a day. I could tell it happened today.
Dude, there's like there's like 2 full months of just like pre-shadow intensifies, retrograde intensifies.
Everybody needs something to scare them. Everybody needs something to scare them into fucking whatever to control, right?
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
It's not one thing, it's something else.
Oh, dude, it happens 3 times. In March, in July, in November. What the fuck?
Well, it's April, and you just said it's in retrograde now. It's in March.
Well, like, it spans over 2 months. It goes through all these fucking cycles. I don't even know why I'm looking at this. It's all fucking bullshit anyway.
Yeah, dude. Well, all you gotta do is go buy your fucking Himalayan salt lamp.
There you
plug
go.
it into the wall next to you.
Here we fucking go,
right.
dude. I saw someone on Facebook.
And then rub some healing taint.
Some healing crystals on your taint.
It'll all feel great again.
Oh man, I'm sure you guys saw this too. I don't want to come off as a dick, but like I saw people posting like, "Oh, does anyone know where I can go to find a crystal shop near us?" Blah blah blah, and everyone was like talking about getting their chakras in line or whatever the fuck that means. Like, what are you smoking, dog?
I think people that are so fascinated or obsessed with that bullshit have no other real significant fucking problems in their life.
Yep.
That is what they're fixated on.
I would agree. Like
go get some fucking problems, real problems. Stop worrying about your fucking peace rocks.
Yeah. So you think about all these people protesting all this shit all the time. Like, how can you afford to not be at work for 3 weeks to sit in Central Park because you don't want them to serve peanut butter at the elementary school because little kids are allergic to peanut butter? Like, how do you have that time? What's your PTO bank look like? Where do I sign up for that job? But whatever. I mean, this stuff all comes back to like fucking our theme, dude. Little existentialism, little outer space piece, like getting your chakra in line. Piece.
I kind of want to talk about Interstellar because after I saw that movie, I watched a lot of like interviews with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
That movie just stole so much stuff from 2001. You ever watch that?
I don't think so. I'll have to watch that.
Ooh, little Stanley Kubrick.
The thing is, though, like not many movies are scientifically accurate when it comes to that stuff. When it comes to like extreme like future space travel shit like that. But there was a lot of stuff in Interstellar that was like very actually accurate. I mean, they had astrophysicists there when designing like the CGI shit. So it's obviously somewhat accurate.
That and like the other one too, like Gravity. You ever watch that?
And The Martian.
Yeah, well, I liked in Gravity how like they make it like quiet in space. I was like the first one to like really do that because no matter what's happening out there, it's quiet because
you're in a vacuum.
Particles in the air to bounce off of to make sound.
Yeah,
so that's pretty dope. But no, I mean, yeah, that kind of stuff's crazy. Although, like a person.
What is that?
You can hear that. No.
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know. I think the Flyers and the Penguins are playing right now.
Go Pennsylvania.
But no, like when the dude goes through the black hole, that ain't real. He'd be dead. in a moment.
Well, how do you know?
Because those things eat stars and rip them to pieces.
How do you know they rip them to pieces?
Well,
have you seen the pieces come back out?
That's true. None of us know. That is very true. I will concede that point to you.
Thank you.
But
on the chalkboard, bitch.
Like,
I agree. I think you would like just get crushed or ripped apart going into a black hole. But we don't fucking know. So.
True.
Well, I'm sure it's not like, you know, going down the fucking twirly slide.
Here's my number one question I want to ask a scientist, or Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? So they say how, and I've asked you guys this a million times already. They say the universe is always expanding, right? Into what?
Yeah.
Into what?
I'm sure he's been asked that question a million times. We could probably find it online.
I guess so. That's just one that boggles my mind.
Like
I'm getting anxiety again. We got to get off this.
I'm under the impression that it's infinite.
Well, maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Maybe it's finite. Maybe we're just like part of like a bubble bath, and there's all these universes that are all bubbles in the bubble bath, and they all just bump up against each other.
And
that's your little bubble.
And we're in that universe's bathtub.
We're in one bubble with a bunch of other bubbles. I don't know.
Maybe we are in
this makes me
the collar of a cat.
Out.
Yes, right? It gives me so much anxiety.
Because now I'm like, how many, where am I inside of what else?
Like, let's go back to something. Let's make fun of people again.
Shit fucking
all right, who are we making fun of?
I didn't think I was going to feel this way, but I'm really starting to feel some type of way.
Right? This is what I feel like every day.
Oh my
every
God.
day of my life.
I would off myself.
Well, that's why whatever. Anyway.
That's why I'm going to.
Yeah, I would never. I don't have balls to do that. I've never thought about that one time. But anyway.
Yeah, if you do, you're fucking dead to me.
Well, what I could say is I don't think you would.
If you kill yourself, you're a piece of shit, and I'm gonna hate you forever.
Nah, see, dude, I'm like, I like myself a little bit, so I would never do that. I don't know what would go through your head to want to do that, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. We're trying to get off that dark shit.
I want to go back to these Himalayan salt lamps.
Okay, all right.
What are they supposed to do? That's another thing. Like all these new age. Here's a salt lamp. Here's a shiny rock. Like, what are they supposed to do for you?
There's some hippie. If hippie people listen to this, they'd be fucking slamming on their keyboards right now. Actually, the positive ions from the Himalayan salt lamp, blah 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 blah. Like, shut the fuck.
Okay, so here's the other thing. Aren't they made of plastic?
No, the rocks are they're salt rock.
No, the lamp, the Himalayan salt lamp.
Yeah, I mean it's just a light bulb stuck inside of a rock.
Oh, it actually, to me, it just looks like a big piece of plastic they made to look like a giant piece of salt.
No, a lot of them are actually like salt rock, and if you lick them, they're fucking salty.
Okay. Then maybe I'm more lenient. I was under the impression that when I look on Amazon for a Himalayan salt lamp and they cost $6 and it'll be here in 2 days, that it's not actually a piece of salt that they.
No, it's like a heavy rock normally.
We should get some. Just
maybe I do to balance my fucking chi or whatever the hell.
Get you in tune with your chakra.
Yeah, so it's supposed to emit ions.
Something like that. I don't know. Like, I would get one just because it's fucking ambiance. That's the whole thing. Like, people are like, oh yeah, it brings inner peace. Yeah, it fucking makes you feel good because it's like a nice warm light, and that's how fucking.
Anyway, but what I would like to do then too, these people who say, oh, it brings out positive ions. Then this is the rabbit hole I go down with those people. Then I'd go, what's an ion? Just to ask them. Because it's like, it's like two atoms or whatever that make a particle and blah, blah, blah. I want to hear that person who believes in the positive ions. Okay, then if they can't explain that, what's the ion? What is it then? Like what molecules or what elements is it that makes the ion up? Go down the rabbit hole, like just to show them like it's just all bullshit. Like it is. Like
science, bitch.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like,
science, bitch.
Because some asshole, some snake oil salesman. This has been going on for like all of human history, and like people try to act like, no, this is really the thing that's better. Like another example is like diets. There's people who say don't eat carbs. There's people who say only eat carbs. Don't eat red meat. Only eat red meat. Only eat red meat on Monday, Wednesday.
Bro, there's so many diets that work.
That's what I'm saying. Like there's so many, but this is the one that's going to do it. Like this, like there's no.
Everyone is so fucking different. There is no magic thing.
for anything, for literally, there's no magic. Life is perfect and incredible and just amazing. It's what your perception of that is.
Are you living your best life?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
That was just like a...
Some days I feel like I am.
So
to this morning, I will admit this. This morning I woke up, put my button down on, put my fucking coat on, put my shades on, and when I walked out, I was feeling myself today. For sure.
Yeah, you seemed like you were in a good mood on Twitter and shit.
Yeah, I was feeling myself today. There's a lot of days where you're just out here feeling yourself.
So along the lines of feeling yourself and chi rocks and positive ions, do you think... So if positive ions are supposed to bring positivity to your life and make you feel at peace and make you feel comfortable and, you know, yada, yada, all the bullshit, do you believe if you think something and you put it out to the universe, that the universe gives you things back?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. Because I've thought about some things a lot.
Now obviously you have to
that
take...
are attainable. I've thought about some attainable things.
Now, did you take steps to work towards attaining those for the universe to pay you back?
You see the steps I take. You see them every day. When you screenshot me saying sup. trying to manifest that.
Just because you drop 100 sups on a Wednesday, whoa, bro.
Well, I'm putting it out there.
It's waiting for till you're ready. It's waiting till you drop that perfect sup on that perfect butt that suits you compatibility wise.
I'm just throwing them out there. I'm waiting. You know what I mean though. Like I'm putting it out there.
You see the steps I'm taking every day.
Just chucking threes from the moon, baby, like Kobe.
You see him. The greatest picture of all time.
Sup? Hey,
dude, I'm just saying. That's how it goes. But no, I don't think, because like, again, the other thing too is like, people have a hard time facing facts that like you can manifest some things. Of course you can. Some things. That's the key thing.
Yeah, but you have to also work towards it.
Yes.
You can't just say, I want $1 million and then do the same bold shit over and over and over again.
The one thing my grandfather told me with a lot of how I feel about a lot of stuff. My dad's dad. And he always told me this one thing from when I was a little kid, and it resonates, and it's one of my favorite things to say to people. Wish in one hand, shit in the other. See which one fills up first. If that's not life in a nutshell.
That's true. I don't know if I've ever heard that.
True. You've never heard that?
That's all since I was a kid. All the time.
I thought that was like a common saying.
Oh God, I love it. It's my favorite.
It is a good one.
I like to think I'm living my best life, but I know there's things that I could do better.
The universe doesn't do anything for you, no matter what.
Well, there's things you can always do better. Like you could,
of course,
you could be Cardi B pregnant and an icon, and you still do things better.
True.
You're just this guy. We got way off topic, but we're talking about some stuff that I like to talk about. This is what we should talk about all the time, so I can talk about all kinds of shit like this.
We can talk about whatever we want. No one even listens to this anyway. I said we're going to stop this if it doesn't grow, and it's not fucking growing. So share this shit, people. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Bastards.
But anyway, like, I don't know. The universe doesn't know it doesn't do anything for anybody. We're all just random pieces of shit. Not literal shit, like atoms and stuff. You know what I mean? Like
Atom, trash buggy.
Like, did you see that interview Jim Carrey did on the red carpet not that long ago?
Oh, where he was like out of this world.
But that's so so true.
I agree.
She's like, "Oh, are you happy to be here?" He's like, "What is happy?" Like, I'm just a bunch of particles floating around next to your particles, and my brain's perceiving your particles as looking like that, and you're just. And he's like going down this whole fucking thing. I'm like, dude, like, I thought I was woke. Like, holy hell!
And at that moment, Rhodes
felt
Jim Carrey was his new spirit animal.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you see that stuff, and especially coming from someone like him, it's like, wow, that guy's fucking crazy. And if anyone says that in public, you're gonna be like, wow, that guy's on fucking meth or something. But we can all kind of relate to it. Like, I fucking get that when people say shit like that.
Like, my eyeballs are processing you to look like, how do I know that's what you actually look like?
Dude, I think about that all
I say this kind of shit like,
We're getting into like philosophy shit.
Like the pizza box over there. I look at that as a white box with green writing on it, right? How do I know you see white as what I see white as? Maybe
You don't.
maybe you look at that and the color white for you is actually how I see the color blue. Like, are you following me?
It's like
I
the
am.
fucking blue, the
But to you,
blue and black dress and the gold and white dress.
well, that's dumb. That's stupid. That's stupid.
That's not stupid.
But like,
Everyone
I-
processes
I-
that shit differently.
I don't like that. But like when you were 3 years old and the preschool teacher pointed to the table here and said, "This is brown," how does she know that?
I'm
Yes,
seeing brown.
like sure, this now is called brown, but maybe it's the same. This brown for you is the same color as the sky. So when you look at the sky, I see blue, but you see what I see as brown. You're following me?
But the
How do I
argument,
know?
the argument there is you walk outside and you go, that's blue. And then I could be there could be a wall dividing us that's soundproof. Just bear with me. And I could be on my side and I could walk out. The sky's blue. The chances of us having two separate teachers saying to you, this is blue, but it's really like brown. And to me,
Well, because it goes back till the beginning of everything. Because everyone's told this is it. How do you know what your eyes see as? How does your brain process
I
things the same
think
as
that's far-fetched. Our eyes don't process the same. However, the shade, like if we were looking at a very solid color, like your red shorts right now, that red probably looks different to you than it does to me.
But what I'm saying is, so this is the color here of my shorts. That's red. I see that as red.
Right. As do I.
You're pointing at that saying it's red. You could just call it green, or it could look like nature is green. But to you, this is the word for red. That's the word for green. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because
I mean,
the
that's
words
just the
don't
word
line
that's
up with what
given
you're
to it,
seeing.
though.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but we all associate those same words with the same things. Like we do.
The thing is, the color of something is that object or that material, whatever, reflecting that light and absorbing the rest of it. So anything that's red, it's absorbing the blues and the violets and shit like that, and it's only bouncing off red. That's why people see red. So it's like, I don't think it's that it's a nomenclature thing, but it's just like that's the visible light that you're taking in.
I guess so. I don't know. I think about stuff. How do you know? Like, dude,
You know?
like when I say red shorts, it doesn't look like this to you, but you were grown up, you were taught at a young age that this is called red. So, oh, okay, whatever.
I got you. Maybe a better example would be like you put one girl in front of us and all three of us look at her and you go, holy shit, smoke's up.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at her and go, no, not really. I'm not into that. And T-Sai looks at her and says, yeah, maybe. We have three different opinions.
But it's
But
all
we're-
shaped by past experience.
That's true.
Yeah, but I don't think that relates to color, though.
No, it doesn't.
That's what I'm
Not
trying to
like-
say.
So
I understand where
get
you
out
come
of
from.
me.
That's like saying, yo, what do you call the stuff that you drink that's fizzy? Do you call it fucking soda? Do you call it pop?
Mm-hmm.
Do you call it
What's a colloquialism?
Do you call it Coke? If you call it Coke, you're Who the fuck
That's
calls
just-
that Coke?
Well, that stuff's just regional.
Yeah, I know. What do they call it in
So-
Pittsburgh?
Pop.
Pop,
That's
soda
stupid.
pop.
Yins are fucking stupid. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, anyone in Pittsburgh. Yins.
But people think it's weird how we talk.
Well, of course.
Like, yo, I'm gonna go down to the store a while and I'll catch you later.
A while.
People freak out when you hear you end a sentence with a while.
Or y'all. We don't say that, obviously, but
Yeah, people think it's
Southerners
weird when you say like, "Yo, are you gonna come with?"
Yeah.
Come with what? Come with who?
Are you coming with or what?
That's
Coming
Pennsylvania
with?
Dutch though.
Oh, wow.
People don't know about Pennsylvania Dutch. We say some weird fucking shit.
Yo, speaking of, you ever see that dude on YouTube that does all the videos Dutch country,
Does all the videos what?
driving through Pennsylvania Dutch country?
No.
Oh, and he does like an old Dutchy guy accent. He's like our age, but he does like this old. Oh my god, it's hilarious. You gotta watch it. I'll send it to you after we're done. It's hilarious.
Haven't seen that one.
yeah, Pennsylvania Dutch people they got some weird shit.
But whatever. I don't know, man. I like to think. That's my thing. I like to use my brain. That's why I like all this weird stuff we talk about, because it makes you think. And
We just went down like every weird rabbit hole possible, from space
this
to.
is like what we talk about a lot of the time, though. Like,
I just want to know what
conversations.
It would be cool, like even if we couldn't travel to another galaxy or whatever, it'd be cool if we somehow could communicate,
Like
just
watch
to
it on TV.
know what was going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it's weird to think about. There's like planets out there where like they could have like land in an ocean, but their land is made of fucking all like their dirt is gold, and gold to them is dirt. You know what I mean? And their oceans are liquid methane, and it rains diamonds, and you know what I mean? Like that's just the reality of where they live. And then maybe life evolved to survive getting pelted by rain diamonds. You know what I mean? Like there could be so many variations of everything that is just mind-boggling. Like you probably couldn't even fathom something else if you like another planet. If you saw it, you wouldn't be able to comprehend what it was.
I think it's crazy how we have shit on Mars right now.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys ever heard about Devon Island? I think that's how you pronounce it.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
So you know how people say we faked the moon landing and shit like that?
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't fucking believe that. I think it's very possible.
We needed to beat Russia, bro.
Yeah. But
I think we did it. American ingenuity. We did it.
Just recently, I found out about this place called Devon Island. Look it up on your phone, and then
I'm looking at it right now.
And then image search
Canada.
it. Yeah, it's like way up far north in Canada, and it fucking looks like Mars, like what we see from the Mars rover.
It's in none of it.
Yeah.
No, it don't.
Yeah. It kind of looks like all the pictures and shit that we've seen. I'm not saying at all that we don't have a fucking rover on Mars, but I'm like, yo, if you're gonna fake it, that's a place where you could fucking fake it.
Maybe. I'll give you a solid maybe on that.
Like, why does that look like? Like, this isn't. That looks like a NASA fucking space camp, and that's definitely not Mars. Barn.
Like
there's barn.
I find it, the only thing that I find hard to believe about getting a rover to Mars is the information that we're receiving back. I know it fucking takes like 8 minutes to move the rover like a certain direction and whatever, but like how are they actually getting that information back? I fucking go drive under a bridge and I lose cell phone reception, but they can fucking send these high-res pictures millions and millions of miles.
The dankest of all the Wi-Fis.
Yeah, they got that Google Project Fi, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, bro, the dankest. They might have an Ethernet cable from the space station going to the rover.
Even just like...
It's in the...
I don't know. But I hope in our generation we get to see more space travel with actual fucking people, not just like shooting Tesla Roadsters up into the sky.
Shooting turds out there. Some more trash. Now we have a whole bunch of trash flying around our rock that's covered in trash.
So much trash. There's a
trash
fucking website, dude. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, I saw that. We have our trash protected by a buffer zone of more trash floating around it.
That's
it's
true.
Awesome. It's the best.
What the fuck is it called?
I don't know. Floatingtrash.com.
No, there literally is. Like, how do they time like rocket launches with all the trash that's floating around?
I don't know. They just guess.
I guess.
I don't think they do too much guessing. Actually, they probably do something more serious than that.
Well, apparently, a lot of the world thinks that.
Yeah, and a lot of the world thinks the Earth's flat and the sun's cold.
We didn't even talk about that, dude. Fuck. We only have like 6 minutes left.
All right, we can talk about the sun not being
hot. All right, it's
hot.
about to be a dope 6 minutes.
So there's people out there who argue the sun's not hot. And so why, if the sun's so hot, then why is space cold?
That's what their argument is?
Because it's a vacuum.
Didn't I? Yes. So well, then how does it get hot? How is it hot here?
the radiant light,
I don't
radiation
know what radiation?
from UV rays coming from the sun.
And then they do what?
Then the rays travel through space and then hit the atmosphere, come through and fuck us up. That's how you got sun poisoning last summer.
They bounce off the ground and then bounce off the ozone layer and back.
No.
So you think
Close,
the
no.
the sun is cold?
No, but there's people that believe it. I always like to be people try to explain why they think it's not. Part of a lot of fun for me is hearing people try to explain themselves, because it really shows you how firmly they believe this stuff, A, and then B, what they base their value and belief system off of. Because a lot of time it's nothing. It's always a lot of time it's just blind faith in something they heard somewhere.
Or
Like,
some meme.
I like to think that my
yeah.
answer was just somewhat coherent. I know it's not.
No,
We're no
yeah,
fool.
it's
Like, we all probably sound like fucking idiots this whole episode, but like to me that makes sense. But
it's the rays coming through the atmosphere. There's particles in our atmosphere and in our just on the Earth that aren't present in space. When they hit them, it causes friction, which causes heat, and traps those rays in here and keeps it warm here because they're bouncing off those particles in very small ways.
Where exactly in our bubble are the particles? Do they float
Everywhere.
closer at
They're
the
all over
top?
the place. They're all over the place.
All right.
And more down here because it
just
gets
the
hot
air
down
in
here. When you go
general,
upstairs,
oxygen,
when you go
nitrogen.
Upstairs, when you go up in the sky.
That was going to be my question, because if the clouds are out and the particles are above the clouds, why aren't we still feeling that massive heat through the clouds? Gotcha.
So that, and people who believe the Earth is flat,
Well, that
I
bitch is
will
flat.
never get that. Never.
Come on, dude. You never walked to the edge? You can jump off and go into the next galaxy.
Yeah, but the Illuminati's keep getting there. That's what it is.
Dude,
Like, what are these people?
there's more and more of them all the time, especially online. I see them like in YouTube videos and shit. These people are fucking insane, dude. The shit they come up with.
I've never dug into it, so I'm going to do that.
Stands out to me. So the sunrise and the sunset is the exact same size for everyone everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, you'd think, oh, we're in America, which is middle flat Earth. So the sun's going to look a lot smaller to us when it rises and sets than it might in Japan, which would say is the edge. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff.
The same thing with it would be lunar eclipses. It's like if the Earth is flat, then every time there's a lunar eclipse, that means the Earth has to be completely 90 degrees perpendicular to the sun and the moon. Like if it's angled at all, it wouldn't be circular.
You know who else thought the Earth might be flat?
Christopher Columbus.
Yeah, in fucking 1492.
And then they raped and pillaged all the Native Americans.
500 years ago.
Piece of shit.
People thought that then, 500 years ago. And it's something you still think is... what is held up as being true since then? Outside of, like, simple math.
Ass is better than tits.
Just about, just about nothing. Back then when, I'm sick. Let's cut you. Let's let you bleed. You'll get all the bad blood out of you. That'll do it. Like, what? Oh, like, that's my favorite. Now we're going on a weird path. Like, those olden times are my favorite. Like, how people think we're so cruel to each other now. Like, you're
stone people.
You're a witch. So
we're gonna fucking burn you.
No, we're gonna put you in a sack, right? And we're gonna fill it with rocks, and we're gonna throw you in the river. And if you get out, then we know for sure you're a witch. And if you don't, our bad.
and by the way, it was their bad every time.
Did you ever hear about the way that they kill some people called the brazen bull?
No, I'm about to look it up though.
It's a giant bronze hollowed out bull. Maybe it was bronze. I don't know what it's made out of.
Brazen
bull.
bull.
Put you inside of it.
It's a bronze bull.
Bull. Yep, and they'd put you inside of it, and they'd light a fire under it, and it would literally cook you like you were roasting a chicken over a rotisserie.
Oh, what the fuck?
Literally cook you from the inside out. But, it's cruel now to raise pigs to kill them, to eat them, because that's mean. We used to do that to people.
Yo, these things look gnarly. Ooh.
Yeah, they used to kill people like that. Like, you ever hear what the Vikings used to do? Like, it was in the show Vikings on TV. Like what was it called? The Flying Eagle or the Iron Eagle or something. You ever hear that?
Oh,
I don't know.
I'm too busy.
They'd cut you right down the chest, and they'd split your ribs open, all while you're still alive.
Oh,
And they'd take your lungs and they'd throw them back over your shoulder so they looked like wings of an eagle, and you'd eventually suffocate.
Dude, I'm reading about this brazen bull. They had these like pipes and horns on the inside. It says a series of pipes in the bull's head amplify and distort the victim's cries. The victim's
make it whistle like it's boiling. Yeah.
The victim's screams leave through the nostrils of the bull, sounding like the bellowing roar of the beast.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
People have never been shy about finding out for all of human history.
Ugh.
The Inquisition, they just pull you, they'd stretch you. And then
they tortured you.
Yeah, and then they rip your shit off. Like, insane stuff.
We're at an hour now, so I guess we can wrap up those thoughts.
That's just my history.
We're about to go braze our
class all the time. Weird shit like that.
I think this was a good change from the other bullshit that we've been talking about for the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, I agree. I like talking about like real stuff like this for sure.
I'm gonna go home tonight and read all kinds of shit. Like I just want to hear some response.
You're gonna go down a rabbit hole for sure.
Next week, let's talk about
for
conspiracies. Sure. I would like to talk about
conspiracies.
We can do guest that for that one.
Who?
Turn.
Oh my god.
It might be time for a special guest. It might be time.
I mean, what are we, episode 7 now? We need it. We could use a guest.
Yeah, we could do it with a guest. Sure.
We'll figure it out.
How many followers are we at? Do we have? We
don't
have
enough
yet.
No.
I still haven't plugged the podcast on the channel, so I'll do that soon.
Yeah, dude, you got to do it.
I think you should wait to plug the podcast on the channel until we're in Miami.
If we don't get enough people, so
true.
Let's get them.
I'm gonna do a full video dedicated to it though, like how I have the setup running. So I don't know.
Just a little preview of the conspiracy theories. Not a big conspiracy theory guy. I'll leave you guys with this last bit.
Here we go.
Jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
All right. That's it for today. JF, where can the people find you?
Where can they find you, dog?
I don't know. Oh, you cut out. You can find me on Instagram, JAYEFFFJF with 3 Fs. That's the only social media platform I really like.
Same.
DM me, text it or sext it.
Oh, wow.
Ho.
Rhodes?
I'm at aroads27 on Twitter. I like Twitter. I think I'm pretty solid follow. And on the gram, amroads27. I think I'm not a great follow on there.
I don't know. You don't post. You never post.
Yes, it's okay.
Follow the podcast.
Take a picture of?
I don't know. You're nuts. Follow the podcast on Instagram at Dropping Knowledge Pod. Also on Twitter, send us some questions and future podcast topics at Official DK Pod. We are currently on SoundCloud and YouTube, so if it grows, I don't know. No one seems to be sharing this yet, but if we start growing and people start listening, tuning in more, then maybe we'll expand to Google Play and iTunes. So
patrons, post it on your Facebook. Tell your girlfriends to listen.
Shout out to all the patrons for supporting the channel and the podcast who made this thing start. Haven't shouted you guys out in a minute. We'll be sure to do that next time. We'll have a whole section just for you guys.
Yeah. About to do an hour of shout outs.
An hour of shout outs. That's all for this week. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll talk to you next week. Peace.